Discipline doesn't work when you are dysregulated. And that is so frustrating because as soon as you go online, what is literally every single social media guru, influencer, what are they all preaching? That you need to be more disciplined, that you need to be more consistent, that you need to get better at sticking to your routines. But let me tell you this, because this is going to change the game for you, especially if you're dysregulated, is you can't. If you are dysregulated, you are not going to have any capacity to be disciplined. And I'm going to walk you through in this video as to why and what you can really do to change this up for you, because you're waking up right now and you're just feeling so frustrated with yourself. And I get that frustration because I have been there myself. I've been in a place where I was extremely dysregulated. I was struggling with anxiety and depression, and I was trying so hard to be disciplined, and I would just fail every single time. And the worst part about failing is that it just makes you feel like something is wrong with you because, again, you scroll online and you're just like, everybody else is able to be disciplined. They're able to do this and, wake up early and go to the gym and do all of these things. Why can't I do that? And I'm at this place in my life now where I'm actually very disciplined. I wake up at 4:35 a.m. to go to the gym every single day. I stay pretty consistent with the foods that I'm eating. I sleep at the time that I'm supposed to. And it's so easy for me to be disciplined, but it wasn't like that always. And I thought when I wasn't able to be disciplined, something was wrong with me. But it wasn't until I tuned in and looked at my nervous system and how I really didn't have the capacity to be disciplined. And it wasn't until I actually fixed that at that root and core that things really started to shift for me. I know that you've spent literally years thinking that you need more discipline, that you need to build better routines, that you need to get more accountability. And what that's really done, let's be honest, is just put so much pressure on you. And you're living in so much pressure every single day. And pressure is not good for your nervous system. Healthy amounts of pressure is, right? We do want healthy amounts of pressure because it gets us out of bed, it helps us accomplish our goals and do things. But we also don't want an insurmountable amount of pressure. Too much pressure is actually going to keep you more stuck and make you feel more like a failure. So we don't want that big pressure. And when we try to force ourselves in this box of discipline, it just puts so much pressure on ourselves because you're not going to fit into that discipline box, especially when you're dysregulated. What I really want you to understand in this video is that when you're in a dysregulated state, your nervous system is focused solely on survival. And when your body is stuck in that survival state, your body is collecting all of its resources to help you just go through the day, to just go through the motions. And when your body's in this state, it doesn't care about growth. It doesn't care about your discipline. It doesn't care how successful or how happy you are because your body doesn't have the capacity to. You're so dysregulated, you're so stuck in that survival mode that your body is doing literally just that. It's just surviving. It's just making sure that it has enough day-to-day resources to help you just get through the day. Your body doesn't have enough resources and capacity to be able to take a step back and be like, okay, our survival things are check, check, check. We're good with these areas. Now, how do I want to grow? How can I be a better version of myself? What does happiness look like for me? What does success look like for me? What's my next level of growth? Your brain and your body can't think that far. They don't have the capacity to think that far because they're so hell bent on just focusing on, let me just get through the next moment and the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. And when you're just focusing in that survival mode, when you're just focusing on getting from one moment to the next moment to the next moment, your body's not going to have any resources left to help you grow, to help you improve, to help you be better, to help you be disciplined with the strategies and routines that you know are going to get you to your next level because your body's not prioritizing that. What I really want to emphasize here is that there's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not incapable of being consistent. It's just that your body is running on empty. Your nervous system is running on empty. And it's so focused on the day-to-day survival of things that there's no capacity left for growth and discipline and those higher order level things. To really explain this point further, I want to teach you about what's happening in your brain when your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. When your nervous system is stuck in survival mode, the front part of your brain, so this is called the prefrontal cortex, this area of your brain is responsible for helping you think through your thoughts. It allows us to be more rational. This area of the brain turns off. Not fully off, but it goes quite a bit offline. Okay. It's much harder to access when your body's in survival mode. That's why we'll have these like really automatic reactions. You might feel really irritable. You might just feel like you're reacting to things and you're just on the go all day long. And that's because this area of the brain has kind of switched off a little bit. And what ends up happening is that in survival mode, the amygdala part of the brain, so that area of the brain is like much deeper in your brain. This is the area of your brain that's responsible for those automatic reactions. The amygdala part of the brain is what detects those automatic threats that show up in your environment. And so the prefrontal cortex goes a little bit offline and the amygdala goes more online, which is why, again, you feel like you're in this constant reactive state and it's so hard for you to come out of it because you're in that survival mode. And if your prefrontal cortex is turned off, it's really hard for your brain to be like, what decision is going to help me be my best self? Because your brain doesn't care about that in this moment. Your brain just thinks about what's the easiest, most convenient thing that I can do to support myself, even if it isn't the best for me, because your brain is stuck in that survival mode. So, important to understand that there are some real biological changes that are happening in your brain when you're stuck in that survival mode. And that's why it's so important before you tell yourself, like, I'm going to be disciplined, instead of jumping towards discipline, you need to jump towards regulation. You need to jump towards supporting yourself because when you're in that regulated state, it becomes so much easier for you to make healthier choices for yourself. Discipline comes after you become regulated. It's not something that actually comes first. Because when you try to jump for discipline first without regulation, you're always going to fail. And then you end up getting stuck in this really nasty cycle. And I have been stuck in this cycle in the past before for years. I've had thousands of patients be stuck in this cycle and then they come to see me and we regulate them and they feel so much better and they get out of the cycle. It's the cycle of you wake up, you're excited, you have this new routine, you know what it is that you're gonna do. You start doing the things, and all of a sudden you're doing it, you're feeling great. Do you do it for a few days, and then boom, you end up crashing. You end up crashing and burning out. Life starts happening, other things come up, and as a result of that, you stop taking the action steps that you know that you're supposed to take. And then you're kind of down, you're feeling bad about it for a little bit. And then you're like, okay, no, 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 I got to get back up. I got to get back to the routine of things. And then you go through it and you do it again. You get excited, you do the things for a few days, and you're consistent for a tiny bit. And then you crash, and then you burn, and then you're off, and then you repeat over and over and over again. It is so exhausting. Me just saying it out loud right now, I feel exhausted just even talking about it because it's an exhausting cycle to be stuck at. And the truth is, you don't need to be there. And I'm telling you now on the other side of it, where I'm so consistent with my strategies. And by the way, consistency doesn't mean perfection. Okay. I'm not saying that I wake up and I'm perfect every single day, but I am consistent and I do show up for myself consistently. Whether that means some days it's 10% effort and other days it's 100% effort, I do show up for myself regardless. And that is the key piece here I want you to keep in mind. Consistency is not about perfectly showing up, it's just showing up anyways in any way that you can. And that's also a really big, important thing that's going to be helpful because when I see a lot of patients in practice, they come to me and they think that, I fell off for like a day and because I wasn't perfect, now I'm just going to fall off for like a whole week or a month. And we don't want to get stuck in that all or nothing thinking. And it's understanding that it's okay if you don't have time to do that perfect workout, but if you have time for a 20-minute walk, you do the 20-minute walk and that counts because you showed up for yourself. So what starts to happen once you become regulated? Once you become regulated, it becomes so much easier to be consistent with your habits. You don't have to think about discipline. You don't have to force yourself into anything. Your body just naturally wants to because now your brain and your body can think about how to grow, can think about how to be the better version of ourselves, can think about how to become that highest version of us. Your brain and body can think about all that and have the space to think about all that because you're not in that survival state anymore, because you're not just moving through the day-to-day motions and being reactive all the time to everything around you. You're coming from this place of calm and peace and regulation, and it's from this place you have the capacity to be the absolute best version of you. And that's what I want you to keep in mind here. And Again, speaking about this from the other side of this all, is I don't have to wake up and think about anymore about the things I need to do to align with the best version of me. It just comes to me. I just naturally go about doing these things. There's no force anymore because my brain and body are in a regulated state where they are able to support me in that way. And that's exactly the place that I want you to get to. The best thing that you can chase is increasing your capacity, not discipline. And I am going to be hosting a masterclass on July 9th. You can sign up for either 12 p.m. or the 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time slot, where I'm going to be walking you through the 6 step framework that I have used with thousands of patients to help them increase their capacity to support their nervous system state. And I'm giving it to you completely for free. And the best part is that you'll have a chance to ask me all your questions at the end of this masterclass. So if you're interested in it, you can use the link in my bio to sign up. But most importantly, I really hope that this video has shown you the importance of why you can't be disciplined. And I just hope that you really see now that nothing is wrong with you. There was never anything wrong with you. You were just chasing the wrong thing. When you are someone specifically who's dysregulated, you don't need a million strategies to help yourself feel better. You don't need more discipline. You need to slow down. You need to focus on a few things. And most importantly, you need to work on increasing your capacity, because once you do that, once you get out of the survival state, all of that other stuff is going to come so much more naturally to you.